you sense any sort of players being down and on the sidelines? And you talked about, follow that up with their resiliency.
I did sense a little bit for a few seconds there after the punt return, which was an excellent job by Northwestern. I mean, this is a really, really good Northwestern team, and you know, I gotta obviously have a lot of respect for Pat and what he's done there. But I did sense that a little bit. I tried to, you know, our staff and myself tried to talk to the players and get them going, because we knew, you know, at that time I think there was 50 seconds to go in the third quarter, and we had another whole quarter to play. And, you know, we felt like we could move the ball. So, you know, hey, it's Big Ten football, so we need to come back. So we try to get our players going.
And their resiliency, can you address that?
Well, you know, again, you can't say enough about these kids, and you know, again, what they've been through. They're smart, they're tough, they're committed to Penn State. They've come to practice every single week. You know, the practices always aren't pretty, but there's a lot of effort, and it's great chemistry in that locker room. Again, you know, we're 4-2. Who knows where it's going to end up? But you know, these guys are playing hard, and it's really fun to see the smiles on their faces.
Bill, what are your thoughts about the job McGloin did in the second half, and what was the biggest difference between the first half and second half and him?
You know, Matt's done a really nice job of coming in at halftime and staying relaxed and calm, and just taking the coaching from Charlie and myself, and understanding a couple things that we talk about at halftime. Hey, we got to do this better, we got to do that better, and he understands it's a 60-minute game. You know, he's grown up a lot. You know, when you're a senior and you know you're playing your last few games here for Penn State, you know that means a lot to him. And again, I can't say enough about Matt McGloin. He's gotten the job done to this point this year a lot.
Bill, I saw a lot today that I haven't seen here like in a long time, as far as decisions and going for the jugular, and the 4th and 2 though from the 19. You not only went for it, but you went no huddle. I mean, why?
Yeah, we just, you know, you get into a rhythm in the drive, and you feel pretty good about some plays, and you get into a rhythm of calling the plays, and you've been with this kid, number 11, for 9 months now, and you know the plays that he likes, and you feel good about the rhythm that he's in, so you just keep it going. You know, you're only looking for 2 yards, and hopefully you can either squeeze a pass in there, or he can scramble, or something good can happen, because you know he's going to make the right decision. So that's more just about getting in the right rhythm.
Yeah, but so many other coaches get anal in that situation, and they have to call the timeout.
It's football. I mean, it's football. I mean, you know, I get anal about my family and my kids and my wife. I don't get too anal about football. I mean, it's football. I love coaching, love this staff, and obviously I love this football team. So we just, you know, we practice those situations, and hope, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You got to live with when they don't work. So we'll just continue to try to put together good game plans and good situational football game plans too.
Hey Bill, is Bill Belton's ankle become an issue again, or was today's result Zach Swinack being sort of a hot battle?
Yeah, I think no, I don't think his ankle's bothering me. You'd have to ask Billy that, or you know, maybe I'll give you a report on that during the week. But I just, you know, Billy went in there, did some decent things. But again, you know, Zach, we felt, was running the ball downhill, and just felt his physical presence in the game. In this type of game was something that we wanted to go with. Same thing with Michael Zordich. But it's nothing against Billy Belton. He's a very, very good football player. It's just there's only one ball, guys. I mean, there's only one ball. We're a one-back team primarily. Sometimes we line up in two-back, but Billy's not a fullback, so there's really only one tailback on the field at a time. So it's just Billy's a team player, and he understands his role, and he'll come to practice next week competing for his role.
Billy, you said you felt like you could move the ball. You get the ball back at the end of the third quarter. You go to the NASCAR. You do that on your last couple of drives. How much of a benefit is it to be able to go to that, and how effective did you feel it was today, especially on the 2 long touchdown drives?
Sure, yeah, it was effective. It's been effective pretty much all year. It's something that we've got to continue to work on. There's a lot of things we can improve on in the NASCAR package that we run, but you know, up-tempo is good. Our players seem to enjoy it. They enjoy it in practice. They look forward to the up-tempo game plan every week, and Matt does a nice job of handling the plays there, the tempo and the situations, and knowing the down and distance, and that's a credit to him.
Hey Bill, you guys are continuing to go for it on fourth down. Are they really starting to take to these do or die situations the guys on the field?
We went for it 6 times today. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. You know, again, a lot of times it's worked out this year where it's been about field position. You know, I don't think you've seen me go for it on fourth down, you know, backed up inside our own 20 or really on our side of the 50 too often. Maybe I did it a few times, but usually if we have the right field position and we're kind of out of Sam's range, it might be better to have a good play, especially if it's a manageable fourth down. So it's not that hard on a play caller because your third down is like a second down call. That when you know you're going to go for it, it's not like you just all of a sudden say we're going to go for it. You know, it's a thought out deal, and hopefully we continue to execute on fourth down. I think we've done a decent job of it this year. I know at times we need to do better.
Hey Bill, the last few games you've kind of talked about. There's been some times where you guys have left points on the board. It seems like the second half that didn't happen. Anything in practice that you guys have done, like addressing that? Like how do you address, hey, we were leaving 20 points on the board, we need to fix that, I guess?
Yeah, sure, we do. We have somewhat of a break in the middle of practice where we say that this is the second half of practice and we need to start well. You know, it's just about starting well, really. You know, if you can get a good drive going, I think the first drive for us in the second half we scored, I believe. And I think if you can get a good drive going and string some plays together, then you have a chance. So we just talk about starting well and calling better plays. A lot of it starts with coaching and me and just doing a better job of getting us in the right plays.
Bill, when you were out there on the field in the first half, you appeared to be yelling at the referee and then at Pat Fitzgerald. Can you share what you were yelling at that point?
No. I didn't yell at Pat Fitzgerald. No, that didn't.
It was all official.
No, I was yelling at myself. I was mad at myself. That's all it was. Yelling at anybody.
The fumble punt, Bill, do you feel has let some air out of you guys in the first half?
The fumble punt. Yeah, I mean, Jesse's done a great job, and what he did was he was fair catching it, and he looked up with the fair catch signal, then he looked down, you know, and really just concentrated on the ball. And you know, he's done an excellent job. I just have a lot of respect for Jesse and what he's done here, and you know, he made a mistake. He'd be the first one to tell you that, and obviously we recovered from it. But I think right there, you know, obviously it hurt us a little bit, but we obviously recovered from it.
And the third down play that you scored on, had you made up your mind what you were going to do if that play didn't work, or was it going to depend on the distance?
Depend on the distance, Neil. Yeah, it would definitely depend on the distance. If we gained any yards there, what hash it was on, what hash it went to, there was a lot of that would go into the next play.
When you look at Zach's Winnack, do you see a guy who can consistently be the #1 go-to guy, or is this going to be a situation where you're taking it game by game?
Definitely game by game. I think a lot of all those backs, you know, I think that they're tough. I think that they're good athletes. They catch the ball well. They're smart. They run the ball tough. We got a pretty good situation there. You know, we have some guys there that can do some good things. But again, like I said a million times, I mean, we're a one-back team, you know, and sometimes we're in 2-back formations, but our fullback is Michael Zordich, so we're really a one tailback team. So, you know, it's hard to put 3 or 4 tailbacks in a game at the same time. It's just the way it goes, and Zach has played well. But again, that's a competition every single week to see who's going to play and who's going to start and things like that.
Bill, what kind of a job do you feel like you did? You're right. What kind of a job do you feel like you did with 2 quarterbacks for Northwestern and being conscious of the different things that they can do and where they are on the field?
Well, I think that our defense did a heck of a job. I mean, that's a team that last week, I believe, gained 700 yards of offense, which, if it weren't for the West Virginia-Baylor game, everybody would have been talking about Northwestern gaining 700 yards. I believe that's a very, very good offense, and our defense, again, did a really, really nice job. You know, we put them in a tough spot there with the fumble punt and some of the things that went on there with the punt return wasn't on them and things like that. So, you know, I think our defense really came to play today.